So yeah, I'm a single child of my parents, and my father is an army officer. So I traveled around India, all over India. And I was only 3.5 months old when my parents started traveling with me. So these people, so I got my basics of being fearless from my parents. My father being an army officer and my mom being an amazing, creative, esoteric woman who instilled in me the power of faith and the power of surrender, what is I'm going to talk about. So that is how it happened. I was always a very creative person. Well, let's come here. And this is my family. So you can see the mud walls and few paintings from my childhood. And my grandfather was an artist. He left his art because he had to raise 6 children. And I paint with the name of my grandfather. That's Bhattacharjee. So my artist name is Shadon. And I'm the eldest one in the family, and the only one who's following that. So we have everything in our DNA. I wouldn't say that only the ancestors in my family and something I'm having. No, each one of us, and especially Indians. If you go back to your past memories, or if you can go back to your past lives, you would see everybody has that same content of believing in the Sanatana. Now what Sanatana is? Sanatana is believing in the source energy. So now, well, I start with my life story. So these are few pictures from all over around India. That's Kashmir, Himachal, Punjab, Kanyakumari, and all you can go northeast. So my childhood went around the parts of India that were infested with terrorist gangs, especially northeast and J&K. So my problems were different, My failures were different. My failures were that I had to become an IAS officer or an Indian Army officer, because my father was doing so greatly. My mom was an amazing creative, and she was an amazing woman, so beautiful. So from there, my insecurities and my fears start. Because I wasn't a normal child. I was really, really very lost. I was poetic, I was philosophical, and totally going wrong. Because in my school, people were like, oh, we need to get 98%. And I was like, what? I never even thought about that. I never thought of being the first in the class. I was like, I like maths, I like science, I like physics, and I hate sociology and Hindi. And I failed poorly in those subjects. So I would pick only the things that I liked, and I failed in them as well. I also failed in the things that I thought I would fail. So my life is a story of only and only failures. And so I forgot all that the world had taught me. And being raised in an army cantonment kept me away from the ugliness of the real life. But when I stepped in to the real life, seeing common public suffering, seeing people who aren't that privileged as I am, that melted my heart. Somewhere that took me away from what I had gone for in Delhi. So I went to Delhi, I went to Chennai for my BTech, and I thought that, oh dude, I'm never gonna get into some college I can't do that JE stuff. And I asked my father, please, मेरे को donation देके SRM में admission करा दो क्योंकि मुझसे तो नहीं हो पाएगा. I was great at physics, chemistry, bio, and all my teachers were like, she's a great student, she's a genius. But see, I did not have faith in me. I thought I'm a failure. And I did not even sit for those exams. So in a span of 9 months in SRM Chennai, I realized that it was not my place. I was a complete outcast. So again, my fear. I'm like, dude, I can't do this. I know that I will get into a good college. So then I again leave my college. I again leave into that unaware zone where you don't know what you're going to do and what your future is going to be, but just surrender. So that was the first time that I learned how to surrender. Because for an overactive mind, I'm quite sure you know surrender is like the last option. So God always pushed me to surrender because I would want to control everything. I felt as if I know, I knew everything, and fear came first. So in my life, it took me 30 years to overcome my fear. It took me 31 years to finally realize that I need to love myself. Because I never loved myself. I loved the people around me. I always was a people's person, and somewhere I kept losing myself, and that way I kept losing my talent. So finally, in the year 2020, I again joined my theatre and I started acting. So now again, failure comes. I'm not able to go for this 9-to-5 job anymore. I'm like, dude, I can't do that. अब तो हो ही नहीं पा रहा है. ऑफिस में बैठ के ड्रामा के स्क्रिप्ट्स पढ़ रहे हैं. बोला ये तो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, अब क्या करें? So I leave my job. Now I don't even know, because as an actor, you don't know what the next step is going to be. It's always a mystery for you. Alright, I was like, I watched too many motivation videos, and Tyrion Lannister, if you know, the dwarf, he said that at 28 I realized that I need to become an actor, and it made me so hungry. And I was like, okay, fine, I mean, maybe I need to lose some weight, and yeah, I can be hungry, man, I will be in shape. So with that thought, I left my job, not knowing, and in a moment of panic, agony, I started painting to control my mind. I wouldn't say to control my mind, but to channelize the energy. And channelizing that energy of mine, I found Mother Nature, I found Shakti, I would say I found Ma Kali. And somewhere she is my driving force. So this is my story, how I started having belief in myself. And from there, I haven't looked back. So I started painting, I started acting again, I started writing poetries again. So मैं कुछ पेश करना चाहूँगी जो मैंने खुद लिखा है. कुछ वक्त ऐसा होता है, कुछ वक्त ऐसा होता है, कुछ रूह की ये कारीगरी है कि जितनी नफरत इस दुनिया से करना चाहूँ, उतनी खुद से होती जा रही है. अपनी परछाई से नफरत होने लगी है. दिमाग की इस दस्तक को आवाज न दे, दर्द को तवज्जो न दे, क्योंकि ये तो इशारा है कि तू दूर है असल ईमान से जो इस दर्द से गम खा रहा है. इसे रास्ता तो दे, इसे मोहब्बत तो दे. कुछ वक्त ऐसा होता है, कुछ रूह की ये कारीगरी है कि जितनी मोहब्बत इस दुनिया से करना चाहूँ, उतनी खुद से हो चुकी है. अपनी परछाई में भी खुदा दिखता है और हर इंसान इसकी गवाह दिखता है.